So you'll notice that this bike isn't quite the Ducati today. And to be honest, I'm not feeling 100% at the moment to actually be tackling the stinky fumes that go with the Ducati, that go on with the whole mold making of the Ducati. So something to ease my way back into the workshop a little bit. I know I've got a job that I've been meaning to do for probably about a year now. It's probably about last April I introduced the Maico. So this is a Maico 490, a 1982 monoshock. It was the first year that I bought the monoshock out, and the last year that it used the primary chain drive engine. The 83 then moved on to a direct drive and considered a less good a bike than this was, and this was even considered a less good a bike as the 81 version, because the 81 version was a twin shock version. But nonetheless, we have this bike here, and the intentions were to actually take it to the Malay Mile this year. As things are going, nobody knows if it's going to be going on. So what I'm going to try and do today is remove the carburetor. I want to see if the bike starts first of all. There's a lot of work that needs doing on this bike, even though it might appear shiny on film here. This is just a cheap rattle can job that I did ages ago. Oh no, I've got a crack there. No, I've just found a crack in the plastics. So what this bike needs doing is stripping down, powder coating. I don't know how powder coating is going to go at the minute because there is no one that does powder coating. That's open, I don't think. The front suspension needs to be rebuilt. The rear Öhlins shock is shocked. That doesn't work at all. There's nothing in it, so that completely needs to be rebuilt. The carburetor wasn't jetted perfectly, or wasn't tuned. It was jetted perfectly, I should say, but it wasn't tuned perfectly. Last time I rode it, I didn't have the time to actually properly do it. I think there might be a bit of a piston slap. So first job today is to see if it runs at least. It was running last time, but that was about 8 years ago now. So that's today's job. Take the carburetor out, clean it, and see if it starts. Now this carb boots here are horrible, absolutely horrible, because they are. The last time I bought this, which was 2010, £45 for this car boot. And they perish because they collect. See, the top of it is rubbery, the bottom really isn't. They collect all the fuel there, and it's supposed to be non-perishable rubber. And they always are, they always just get really hard. Now this should come out. Let's have a look at the float bowl. So with this out, let's have a look down. Oh no. Basically, it's just a load of two-stroke oil, obviously separated, and it's just all collected at the bottom. Yeah, that's just nasty. Got some gasket paper here. Let's put this carburetor to one side. Also quite sticky surface, right? Let's put something underneath it first. Seal it up. Ready to go. Obviously need to clean, but for now it's ready to go. Wow. So it was probably about 10 years ago now I reupholstered the seat. You can see where I've been piling stuff on it. It's not good having creases like that in it. I had a bit of a rip down there from where I fell off it, but consider this is hand stitched. I mean, it's not a bad job actually. That is not a bad job, a bit of rust underneath. You know what, I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out actually. The air filter in this, probably seen better days. I know once I take it out it's just gonna, there we go. That is it, that is just perishing in my hands. Literally falling to pieces. I was just worried once I'd start it all this outer bit would come off, but I need a new air filter, there's no two ways about it. But my main reason for taking the seat off is because I want to take the fuel tank off. I bet you anything, this is just full of red. Do you know what? It actually smells a bit petrol-y. Done all my checks now, cleaned out the carburetor, new float gasket, which I'm seeing if it holds now, let's just see. I mean, that holds. Also, you might have seen in the previous video of me take the spark plug out and doing a few kicks, basically just checking to see if there's a spark, because the last thing I want to be doing is kicking it and then realising that there isn't a spark. So 8 years since I've last started it, I am wearing these, what was called on one of the previous videos as my Ironman boots. The reason I'm wearing my motocross boots is because the compression in this engine is lethal. Even at half compression, so there's a little handle to start it with half compression, the kickback will just break your ankle. So by wearing my little Ironman boots, I'm essentially saving myself a journey to A&E with a broken ankle. And that's that. I'm so deaf. I feel like I need to be quiet now. Right, first time in 8 years. It is the second day. As you may see, I'm wearing a different t-shirt. I just gave up on the first day and I was getting blisters on my feet, and I woke up this morning and I couldn't understand why I couldn't walk. Why my right leg was so stiff. But it starts. It's a beast, oh my God. It's a beast. My ears are ringing. Right, let's to put the bike away now. That's all I need to know, if it starts. And here it is, back in its trusty place. In fact, it's actually changed places. The Warrior's here. Now, next steps for this. First things first, the frame needs powder coating. I don't know when the powder coat is reopening, but this needs to be taken down to the frame, powder coated. Then all the plastics are fine. All these plastics down here are new. They're all UFO plastics, so I don't need to replace those. I do need an exhaust. I need a proper, I might even get a Maico only exhaust because they do look nice. The welds are nice on them. I've got a DEP pretty much new back box, even though it was about 10 years ago I put it on, it's hardly used. I just pretty much rebuild it from the ground up, make sure that everything is as it should be. The wheels need relacing, we need new spokes on those, obviously need new tyres. The shocks need to be rebuilt, or the rear shock, the one single mono shock, and the forks need to be rebuilt as well. Get the engine clean, possibly aqua blast it. This will be taking place as soon as I come to a sticking point with the Ducati there. I'll start working on the Maico as well as the new project that's coming up, the Mongrel, which if you haven't seen yet, I have been posting pics up on Instagram, just a little sneak peek of what that might be. Next week's video I think will be the Ducati Monster Tank, and then the week after that I will introduce the Mongrel to you. So until next week's video, everyone just stay safe. See ya.